Hi, welcome to my home. No, not the trash can, directly behind me. And what I want to do is just take a few minutes and go over curbside recycling processes with you. Sure, a lot of you may live in apartments and some of you may live in duplexes or townhomes or whatever, and you may not have curbside available to you right now, but there will come a day when you likely will. And so when you do have it available to you, I want you to know what it's all about and why it's there. This is my curbside bin. Oh yes, that's right. My camera is set up in the middle of the street right now, and I am currently talking to it as my neighbors drive by and walk by. And they think I'm crazy. Maybe I am. For recycling. So, anyway, the point of this lab is to talk to you about this bin and what goes in this bin and why certain things go inside of this bin. All right. My beloved Diet Mountain Dew bottles. If you've watched any of my lectures when I was caged up in my office, you know I drink a little too much of this stuff. I really don't even like it that much. It's just I don't drink coffee. And this is the highest caffeinated drink I can find. And I don't want to yawn during my own lectures. So I make sure I have plenty of caffeine because there's nothing worse than a person who yawns through their own lecture. These can go inside a curbside. Old newspapers, you know. I don't even take the newspaper. But for some reason, Academy Sports always sends me this circular. I'll come home and there's like 3 of them in my yard because I never really pick them up. Well, these go into recycle. Certain types of plastic. An old metal pan that's all rusted through. Paper. But not glass. Glass doesn't go in a curbside recycle bin. Don't worry, I'll pick it up later. So you're like, okay, Brad, I get the idea. Yay. There's this giant trash can that you put other types of trash in and you put it on your curb and that's that. So, okay, what's the point of this lab? Well, it's simple. It's to make you appreciate this thing. I live in Hewitt. I don't live in Waco, though I am at present on Waco's Recycling Advisory Committee, which is the people in charge of putting blue bins around Waco. I represent MCC. And this bin in particular, mine is green. In the city of Waco, they are blue. In other communities, sometimes you have curbside and sometimes you don't. A lot of my students live way out in the sticks. You'll live somewhere way out in the country and you don't have recycling available to you. So you don't have curbside. In fact, sometimes they don't even have trash services out there. And that's a whole different story. But for all you city folk, like me, or more like suburb folk like me, here's the point of your recycling curbside bin. It is nothing more than a trash can. That's all it is. The recycling bin and the curbside bin is nothing more than a trash can. But the difference is, instead of this trash going to the landfill, this trash goes to a place called Sunbright. Sunbright is a recycling company that is owned locally, or at least in the state of Texas. Sometimes it moves from owner to owner. And all they do is sell recycled products. Whenever you take and you put your items in a curbside bin, a dump truck that looks just like any other trash truck comes by, usually once every 2 weeks. Once in a while, cities will get on schedules where they come by every week, but in our case, they come by once every 2 weeks. And during those every 2 week periods, they'll come by and retrieve all of your recyclables. Well, a dump truck that looks exactly like the one that picks up your trash curbside bin will then take it directly to Sunbright. And Sunbright is located on Texas Central Parkway behind the Englander building, where they make cardboard. And so if you know sort of where M&M Mars or Master Food or whatever they call themselves this week, if you know where that is, it's sort of down that road right there by the railroad tracks. And if you look behind it, you'll see this giant mound of recycled goods. Well, all the dump trucks go around town, and even though I'm in Hewitt, it's the same process here as it is in Waco, or it is in any other city that has local recycling. A dump truck comes by, picks that up, puts it inside of their truck, compresses it, and takes it over to Sunbright. And once it gets to Sunbright, they open up the top, and all the trash slides out, or in this case, recyclables slides out into a big pile. And a little guy with like a bobcat, like a mini front end loader, picks up all the stuff and he puts it on a conveyor belt. And that conveyor belt goes up, and people who work for Sunbright pull certain items off of the line. At Sunbright, there's an assembly line where the trash goes up, or the recyclables, it's still trash, go up. And there's somebody who all they do is pull these kinds of plastic bottles off the line. Just swoop, 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 just like that. And there's somebody else who all they do is pull paper off the line. And someone else who all they do is pull aluminum. And all day long, they pull certain types of recycled goods out of the trash. Well, I keep saying trash, out of the recyclables. And everything that you put into a recycle bin ends up at Sunbright, where they sort it out. Once it's sorted out, Sunbright, which is a private company, will then take those items. They'll put them in a baler, and they'll measure them and weigh them out by the ton and sell them all over the world. My Mountain Dew bottle in there might be sold to a company that ends up in, or sold to a company that's based out of China. And next thing you know, my Mountain Dew bottle is somewhere in China being turned into the same synthetic fibers they make out of like pillow stuffing or comforters if you have synthetic down. Well, this sort of now brings up a question that a lot of people have, which is, okay, if Sunbright is selling this stuff and the city is making money off of my trash, why should I give the city my stuff? In fact, I get this one a lot. So, okay, Brad, you're going to tell me that you want me to put, like, I don't know, like I'm representing Mother Earth or something. So you want me to put all my recyclables into this curbside bin where the city is then going to go make money off of my trash, off of my items. Why can't I make that money myself? Okay, here's what's up. Yes, the stuff that's in here will be bought and sold, just like any other commodity. Somebody, somewhere will make a little bit of money off of your trash. It's true. So why should you do it? Here's why. There's a common misconception that since I teach environmental science, I'm some sort of bleeding heart. That all I want to do is hug trees and use like all of these natural herbs and all this stuff, like I'm some sort of hippie. Environmental science is about money. It's about money. It's about controlling resources, because resources are money and your trash is a resource. Here's what happens. Let's say you decide not to use this curbside bin, and instead you decide to use a regular trash can. Well, first off, the city charges you every month on your water bill for tipping fees. When the dump truck comes by and hauls your trash away, the city's already charged you for that. The city charged you for that when you paid your water bill. And you say, well, I live in an apartment. Oh yeah, okay, so? The apartment complex is paying the water bill and the tipping fee, and it's included in your rent. You're still paying it, you just don't get a statement every month. It's like property taxes. If you're renting, you're still paying them. You're just not getting a statement. It's just built into your rent, but you're still paying taxes. Well, every time you put your trash out, the city is still making money off of you. Somebody somewhere is still making money off of you. I hate to tell you this, but you're still being charged. Someone's still making money off your trash, and it's still not you. Whoa. But here's something else to think about. When you choose this bin, and you say, okay, Brad, well then, if the city's going to make money off of me either way, why should I choose to recycle? Here's why. Landfills only have so much use out of them. And they're very, very expensive to make. A landfill per acre can average between $1 and $3 million for permitting. $1 and $3 million for permitting a landfill alone. And every time a new cell opens, the cost of using the landfill goes up just a little bit. Just a little bit. And the more cells are opened, the more expensive it gets. And every month on your water bill where your trash is, it goes up just a little bit. Just a little bit each time, until eventually the fee is completely a different amount. It might be $20 more. And then what happens whenever that landfill actually fills up? And the only thing that they can do is open up a brand new one. And this brand new one happens to be 50 miles west of town. And so your monthly fee of $10 or $20 suddenly goes up and is now $50 or $60 because they're having to pay for diesel in trucks to drive further away to get rid of all of your trash. However, when you choose this bin, you promote local money. You see, Sunbright, where all that goes, yeah, Sunbright makes money off of that. But at the end of the day, it's still trash, okay? It's still trash. It's not like your King Midas and everything you touch in there suddenly turns into gold. They have to get tons and tons and tons of plastic Mountain Dew bottles, put them in bales, and ship them to the other side of the world to make their money. And it's only when they get a volume like the size of the city of Waco that they then have enough that they can make enough money. But here's what's cool. Sunbright can take my plastic bottles and employ anywhere from 20 to 60 local people off of my trash. 20 to 60 local jobs are created every time I choose to use my curbside bin. Jobs for people like me and jobs for people like you. Buying and selling commodities. Or even working on the assembly line. Hey, I'm not too proud. It all comes down to this. The curbside bin is about money. And the more you use it, the longer the landfill stays open. Well, look, this isn't about saving the earth kind of thing, all right? I mean, the earth doesn't care if you live or die, or me either for that matter. What it is about is resources and money. The second you decide to put something in the trash can, a Diet Mountain Dew bottle, you are no longer allowing that material to be accessible to others. You're essentially sealing it in a casket with trash in the middle of the Texas prairie. And suddenly now, other people locally can't make money off of it, can't support, can't have a job and pay taxes and have a house or an apartment or their own place. Instead, here's what happens. Whenever you decide to use a trash can, whatever item you threw away is gone. That item is gone. And there's nothing you can do about it. And this is usually where I'll have somebody in the class, whenever there's a face-to-face tour. Okay, Brad, if the trash items are so valuable, why don't they just dig them out of the landfill? Why don't they just sort them out? Well, for one thing, that's illegal. But let's say that it was legal. Let's say we could change the laws. You and I run for state representative and we change the laws ourselves. Okay. Do you want to do that? Do you want to rummage through 4, 5, 10, 20-year-old trash looking for aluminum cans? And, I mean, you don't know what's inside of that aluminum can. There might be some dirty heroin needle in there or something. Realistically, you don't know what's in people's trash. Do you want to dig through people's trash? Even vagrants use sticks when they do it, and you're talking about using it by gloves and stuff? You say, well, is that any different than Sunbright? Oh, very much so, because Sunbright only wants certain things. Things that they know won't harm their workers. That's why you can't put glass in there. It's because, let's say you take glass that I alluded to earlier, and you put it in the back end of one of those dump trucks and you compress it, it'll shatter and ruin everything in it and send glass shards everywhere. If you want to recycle glass, you need to go to Cobb's. I have a box in my garage. I put my glass inside of it and I go there whenever it fills up on my way home from work. Ultimately, it boils down to you and me. You don't have to recycle. I mean, you don't have to. But it does mean that landfill costs will go up. $1 to $3 million per acre, and that's right now. Imagine what it'll be 10 years from now. This is real money. You're going to be paying money one way or the other. Any way you look at it, you're still paying money to somebody, to some entity. Either it's for tipping fees or you're paying them instead. In this situation, you're donating your trash. How kind. It's an active commodity. It's a real thing. It's real money in our city. And ultimately, it's up to you. The city isn't going to be your mom and sift through your trash. It's a personal choice. So, I want you to take away knowing this. Why should you use curbside recycling? Or recycling in general? Because it promotes local economy. Because again, I'm about money. It promotes local economy. It helps us by keeping our tipping fees low and our waste disposal costs low. And it promotes local jobs. It recycles resources. It's smart. You're still getting rid of your trash. You're still just rolling it out. You're still just putting it in that dumpster in your apartment complex. The only difference is you're putting it in a different colored trash can. It's smart. And one day, when you're through with my classes and you need a job, you never know when one day you might work for Sunbright. Well, I hope this has been somewhat educational for you. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. If you live in a place locally, which is very possible, that you live in a place where recycling is not available, but yet you still want to, message me and I'll tell you what some of your options are. Maybe we can figure something out. Because your recyclables, even if you live somewhere far away, odds are they'd still go to Sunbright, the same place, and promote our local economy off of our local trash. Otherwise, well, if you have any questions, message me. Otherwise, get on out there and live that dream and fight that power, because no one's going to live it or fight it for you. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.